Okay, and we'll start off, I guess, with Red Rock Estates, Division 5, First Amended, Conditional Acceptance.
So this was it was originally intended to be a church lot,
Law.
and they replatted it because the church wasn't gonna use it, and they developed it.
I remember the hearing. Totally, overwhelmed that whole neighborhood, like adding a few more houses in there.
So while we're waiting, I've got something else that, I mean, it probably still needs to have y'all attention. Parcels on First Street, parcel 15, and the owners are BDLT LLC. The right-of-way negotiator has reached out to them many times, has sent them information. Got an email there from him just outlining the last little while of what's been going on. The commissioners agreed to an administrative settlement on it to increase the amount of compensation. And it was agreed to, the commissioners agreed to it, but we've sent it back and forth and back to the owners, and they just are not responding. They're not getting the documentation back to us to finish this out. And so Michael Scott has recommended that the commissioners send a letter to this owner again and just saying, we're running out of time. We really need this documentation back from you. If you're agreeable, like you verbally said, you've emailed, but you haven't got the official documents back to us.
Yeah, because if we have to go condemn it, all offers over the appraisal are off the table.
Right. And Michael Scott originally said, well, maybe we need to have the county attorney write it. It's like, I don't know about having a county attorney write the letter right now, unless we get to a point where we have to go to eminent domain, so.
The only thing I just wonder if there should be a sentence at the end that clarifies that if we don't hear back, all offers are off the table. And we'd have to, it doesn't really say that at the end of that. It strongly encourages them to move forward.
Yeah. But I don't know how to put that in there without it seeming like a threat.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this outlines the administrative settlement on the land.
Okay.
So I guess just make that the final offer, because you're not talking much extra money on it,
Yeah.
you know.
So do you want, I mean, I can send this to Kayla and,
Yeah, redo the signature and send it and have John sign it.
okay,
Is that all right, Roger?
Oh, yeah. Gotta get that moving.
okay, I'll do that and I'll get it over to Kayla. And it wasn't, yeah, since it's just come in recently, it wasn't as an agenda item, but, or an action item. And the last thing we have today is
Swan Valley
Swan Valley.
property. So this is a deed to the county for a 50-foot wide strip by a half-mile strip on Stoltenberg Lane. And it's completely within Swan Valley city limits.
It is now completely within the city of Swan Valley. They've annexed that ground all the way around it now. It wasn't at the time of the deed, I don't believe, but
No, that's back in 1921 when it was deeded, so.
So someone that goes down to the illegal slip.
no, it is not. Stoltenberg is right there by the Rendezvous House or the what is it, the restaurant?
Commissary Road there.
It's right as you turn, the other way you turn and go up Highway 31 over Pine Creek Pass. This one goes due south. And, it goes mostly, there's a few lots there, there's the VFW hall and park and stuff down there for Swan Valley.
It leads down to a bunch of private roadways on the south end of this.
And what's the question?
Whether we want to deed that to the city or not. I don't really see a need for the county to own
Maybe what's on the other side? And
On both sides of the road is now City of Swan Valley, but on the west side it's undeveloped.
but it is inside the city of Swan.
Yes, it is. Part of the reason this is coming up into play is the City of Swan Valley has asked Road and Bridge to give them a prize for improving Stoltenberg. And the last time we met with them, just last week, the mayor of Swan Valley said, well, that's
In the county.
your landed, and so maybe you guys ought to just pay for that portion by yourselves.
No, that's the inverse of this, what we're talking about on Stanley,
Mhm.
that we fought with the city forever on that, because they would leave them in there, and then you guys have heard it, well, that road's in the county, go to the county.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, this road is clearly in the city,
and I don't think,
but it was a deeded thing. It's like, why don't we deed it back to the City of Swan Valley?
it. It's their jurisdiction, so
yeah,
Is this an action item?
it is not.
you know, they can just do it.
Just a discussion.
See, because I don't think they can refuse if you deed it to them. I don't think there's any sign off that they have to accept that.
So this doesn't have to be a motion or an action by us, they can just do it, okay?
I mean, to sign the deed.
If you decide to deed it, I'll bring it back next week with a quick claim deed.
Yeah,
That'd be good.
so that's one of those long-term things that has caused us all kinds of grief that we need to clean up on both sides.
The county doesn't have any benefit in having this in county name. It's only liability.
John showed you the pictures. Did he show you the picture of the Hardwick Road? Looks like. it's gonna
There's
be
another
the same.
crack and another slide starting. And for what he said is if you are standing at the existing slide and looking at straight across the ravine, that's where this is. So it's another section of the road that's experiencing cracking.
So you wouldn't say it's tied to this
It is not
line,
tied.
a whole new slide.
That's a whole new slide.
And there gets some federal funding on that.
Yeah.
Or you just have to close the rush service, that temporaries there till we figure it out.
Yeah. Well, with that, and I'll try to find a way to get up there and go by the slide, and take a look at it myself, but it's not related to the existing slide, and so it would be a whole new scope of work and everything for a fix on this, so investigation.
Bring back another quick claim deed to the Forest Service.
Yeah.
You went back then. Back up. I've asked Louis to get that done. That's all we had.
When did we get that deeded to us, in the 70s or 80s?
85.
85, when they were doing those summer homes?
Yeah, that's when all of those Schedule A's were deeded, was 85.
Okay,